CSS Technical Questions, Entry-Level Edition.
What is the box model in CSS?
CSS box model is a design concept where every element on a web page is treated as a rectangular box with content, padding, border, and margin.
Explain the difference between inline and block elements in HTML.
Inline elements flow with the surrounding content and don't start on a new line, while block elements create a new block-level box and typically start on a new line.
What is the purpose of clearfix in CSS?
Clearfix is a CSS technique used to fix issues with floated elements causing parent containers to collapse. It ensures that the parent container wraps around its floated children properly.
How do you center an element horizontally and vertically in CSS?
To center an element horizontally, you can use margin 0 auto on a block level element. To center vertically, you can use display flex on the parent container with align items center.
Explain the difference between padding and margin in CSS.
Padding is the space between the content of an element and its border, while margin is the space outside the border of an element, affecting its position relative to other elements.
What are media queries in CSS used for?
Media queries are CSS rules that apply styles based on the characteristics of the device or browser, such as screen size, orientation, or resolution. They are commonly used for creating responsive web designs.
What is the difference between relative, absolute, and fixed positioning in CSS?
Relative positioning positions an element relative to its normal position in the document flow. Absolute positioning positions an element relative to its closest positioned ancestor or the initial containing block. Fixed positioning positions an element relative to the viewport, so it remains fixed even when the page is scrolled.
What is the difference between padding box, content box, and border box in CSS box sizing?
The content box value includes only the content of an element in its width and height calculation. Padding box includes content and padding, while border box includes content, padding, and border.
What is the purpose of the z-index property in CSS?
The z-index property controls the stacking order of positioned elements along the z-axis. Elements with a higher z-index value will appear in front of elements with a lower z-index value.
How can you optimize the loading time of a web page?
You can optimize the loading time of a web page by minimizing file sizes, e.g. compressing images, minifying CSS and JavaScript, reducing HTTP requests, e.g. combining files, using CSS sprites, utilizing browser caching, and employing asynchronous loading for non-essential resources.